Life, dear reader, is not a gentle breeze or a tranquil stream. It is, more often than not, a turbulent storm. Perhaps you have noticed this already. Pain, hardship, and disappointment appear to be woven into the very fabric of existence. Some may call me a pessimist for acknowledging this truth, but I assure you I am not. To recognize reality as it is does not mean surrendering to despair. On the contrary, it is the beginning of wisdom. And wisdom, my friend, is the key to reducing suffering and discovering genuine joy. You see, suffering is like a shadow that follows us throughout life. We encounter financial struggles, difficulties with relationships, unforeseen tragedies, and the constant, nagging pressures of daily responsibilities. Look back at your own life, and you will surely find that moments of pain have claimed more than their fair share of your experience. Yet, despite this, I say to you, suffering is not the entirety of life. Joy exists, contentment is possible, and happiness, though often elusive, is within reach if we learn how to live well. I have spent much of my time contemplating these matters, not out of morbid fascination, but out of a desire to understand how one can cultivate peace and joy in a world that seems intent on producing the opposite. Allow me to share what I have learned, for perhaps it may serve you on your own journey. You might wonder, if life is filled with suffering, how can we hope to be happy? The answer lies not in chasing pleasure, but in reducing pain. Happiness, I believe, is not found in grand bursts of pleasure or excitement, but in the quiet absence of suffering. The wise person does not seek thrills, but strives to eliminate the sources of their discontent. Think of it this way. When you are in good health, you hardly notice it. But a small injury, a headache, or an upset stomach demands your attention immediately. Happiness is much the same. We are not always aware of it, but we are quick to feel the sting of unhappiness. Therefore, to be happy, we must first remove the obstacles to happiness. To live well, we must simplify our lives, reduce our burdens, and cultivate inner peace. What then can we do to reduce suffering and cultivate joy? I offer you a few guiding principles. First, guard your peace of mind fiercely. Life is full of distractions and disturbances, some large, some small, that can unsettle your spirit. If you allow every minor irritation or every petty grievance to disturb your peace, you will never find lasting contentment. Learn to keep your mind steady amidst the chaos. Do not let one worry or fear dominate your thoughts. Practice the art of letting go. When you feel your mind spiraling into anxiety, remind yourself that most worries are fleeting and that your peace is too precious to surrender. One of the most effective ways to maintain your peace is to simplify your social interactions. Not all relationships are beneficial, and not all conversations are worth having. Some people drain your energy, provoke your insecurities, or stir up unnecessary drama. Limit your interactions with such people. This does not mean isolating yourself entirely. Solitude is refreshing, but excessive loneliness can lead to despair. Instead, choose your companions wisely. Surround yourself with those who uplift you, who share your values, and who respect your boundaries. Furthermore, avoid the trap of comparison. Jealousy is a poison that corrodes the soul. When you measure your life against the lives of others, you inevitably find reasons to feel inadequate or dissatisfied. Remember that each person's path is unique. Your worth is not determined by your wealth, status, or achievements. True contentment comes from accepting and appreciating your own life as it is. To cultivate happiness, learn to appreciate the simple pleasures of life. The joy of a good meal, the warmth of a morning sunbeam, the companionship of a loyal dog. These are the moments that, when savored, can fill life with quiet joy. I, for one, take great pleasure in the simple act of walking with my dog, enjoying a fine meal, or listening to a beautiful piece of classical music. These moments, though small, are precious. Do not overlook them in your pursuit of grander pleasures. Speaking of music and art, I believe they hold a special power to soothe the soul and lift us above our suffering. When we immerse ourselves in art, we experience a kind of transcendence. For a moment, we forget our personal troubles and connect with something greater than ourselves. A beautiful painting, a stirring symphony, or a breathtaking landscape can remind us that there is beauty in the world, even amidst the pain. In those moments, our suffering fades, and we experience a glimpse of true peace. Art in its highest form allows us to see the world as it truly is, beyond our personal desires and fears. When you stand before a beautiful landscape or lose yourself in a piece of music, you forget your individual worries and connect with the eternal. You realize that your personal struggles, while significant, are but a small part of a vast and wondrous world. This perspective can be deeply liberating. Another essential lesson is to embrace solitude. As we grow older, we often find that solitude becomes more comforting than company. In our youth, we seek out others to build connections, explore opportunities, and learn from experiences. But as we mature, we begin to appreciate the value of time spent alone. Solitude allows us to reflect, to recharge, and to engage with our inner selves. In solitude, we can pursue intellectual and creative passions, such as reading, writing, or philosophical contemplation. These activities enrich the mind and nourish the soul. Remember also to live in the present moment. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain. We spend far too much time regretting what has been or worrying about what might come. Yet life is happening now, in this very moment. The present is the only reality we have. Cherish it. Do not let the preciousness of today slip away while you are lost in thoughts of yesterday or tomorrow. Each day is a gift, unique and unrepeatable. Treat it as such. This is not to say that you should disregard the future entirely. A balanced life requires a degree of planning and foresight. But do not let your concern for the future rob you of the joy available to you today. Strike a balance. Attend to your duties and responsibilities, but also allow yourself to savor the present. Finally, recognize that happiness is a choice. It is not something that happens to you. It is something you cultivate through your attitudes and actions. Even in a world filled with suffering, you can choose to focus on what brings you joy, peace, and meaning. Do not wait for happiness to arrive someday in the distant future. Create it now, in the small moments and simple pleasures of your daily life. Life, with all its challenges and sorrows, can still be beautiful. It is an art, the art of living, and you, dear reader, are the artist. Paint your life with patience, wisdom, and love. Find joy in simplicity, peace in solitude, and beauty in art. And above all, remember that true happiness lies not in the absence of suffering, but in the cultivation of inner peace. This, I believe, is the path to a life well lived.